Okay, you've moved from punk energy to orchestral composition. What stayed the same in your creative DNA?
Well, the music going around in my head is the same, but the manner of making it is very different. The type of music that I'm making has a lot more tendrils. You know, when I was young, an E, A, and D chord were fine. That's all you need. And then I got fancy with a G, which in punk rock is verging on jazz. But then a couple decades go by, in fact, several decades, in fact, 5 decades go by, and one's musical proclivities get a little more complicated, I suppose. We could say more sophisticated. Let's just go with fancy. You get more fancy as your brain evolves and gets more complicated. So that's why I'm deep into orchestral music with the same energy that I do in rock music, but there's all these different colors to play with. And the orchestra...
More chords. And more chords.
Yeah, more chords, yes. More advanced harmony. Actually, no. I will never achieve harmonic sophistications beyond what Andy Summers did in The Police. That guy was a harmonic genius. And my humble, basically I'm still E, A, and D with occasional G. I got some F sharp minor, huh? And, because with the orchestra, it's all about voicing. Which voice of the chord you put on which element of the orchestra is deeply engrossing. I can't call myself a beginner anymore with this orchestra stuff. I've been doing it for 50 years, but I'm still a student.
Well, cool. Hey, so when you listen back to The Police now, what do you hear that I don't or we don't?
That time when Andy spilled tea on his effects pedal. No, that's not what I don't know. I listen to it, I don't play it. I don't go over and put on Police, Roxanne or anything. But when it comes up on the radio, which is often enough so that I don't have to go and put it on, I appreciate it. I'm proud of it. I think all three of us are very proud of what we produced, even though we recognize that getting there was hell on earth.
Wow. So you worked in film scoring. What do filmmakers fundamentally, let me try again. You've worked in film scoring. What do filmmakers fundamentally misunderstand about music?
I think they understand the utility of music very well. And they're not, sometimes you'll have a young director who's impressed by their favorite pop music that affected them as a kid. But when they get to making a movie and they're a director and they've got a scene and it needs exactly this emotional message, their fandom tends to peel away, and their artistry as a filmmaker to get that emotional messaging just right. I don't care if it's my favorite, if it's a Beatle or I don't care if it's Mick Jagger or Jimi Hendrix. No, I need a little bit more happy sad. And so the best directors don't talk to me about F sharp minor. They talk to me about happy sad. Okay. The specific emotional messaging, such as suspicion, or this character, he looks real handsome, but the audience needs to know, the female lead doesn't know this, but the audience needs to know that he's a lying son of a bitch. So that's the music informs the audience with that emotional messaging, and it has to be very specific.
I once was in Tokyo 10 years ago. I met a guy who'd written all these Yakuza movies. One was sold to Tarantino, became Kill Bill. And I said to him through a translator, what makes a good story? And he said to me, Elliot San, your body is 75% water, and a good story forces your body fluid out of an appropriate pore.
That's kinky. I don't even understand it, but I sense that it is kinky.
Well, elicits emotion, I think is what you were saying, too. You have to elicit emotion.
Well, that's the purpose of any story, or any movie, or any song, for that matter, is to elicit emotion. Because without emotion, it means nothing. And in film, music is the most powerful tool of all. Yeah. More important than the lighting, more important than the acting even. I've had to cure some really bad acting with score. It is the part that the audience isn't even aware of. but it negates or amplifies what they're seeing on the screen. What they see on the screen is information, not emotion. It's the music that tells them how to emotionally respond to the facts that are being portrayed on the screen. And that's where the purpose of art is. And so clever directors, some directors can get like Ken Loach. He'll get all the emotion you need just in the human performances that you see. And I did 3 movies for him. But the requirements, it was very brief. He doesn't want to hear music playing. He just needs an emotional message here because it's not quite clear that there's a fear element to this piece of dialogue. So I just want one little tone that comes in that's vaguely unsettling, and that's all he needs musically. You call it music. It's not a melody. There's no rhythm, but it's a musical element that specifically contributes to the messaging he's interested in for his scene.
Interesting.
Others, for the car chase, they want a huge, big track playing, and the music is a big monster. Ken Loach, not so much.
They say blind people get in for free and get more from the movie without sight because they're listening to the music and the score, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
hey, conflict drove a lot of the Police's creative energy. Do great collaborations need friction?
I think so, because they obviously. You need not 2 people on exactly the same page, although that can work too. All of the great collaborations that I've witnessed personally, there's a little bit of difference between the collaborators. And that's kind of the point of them collaborating, is that they bring something different to the party. Okay, now those differences might rub up against each other, but if there's enough mutual respect, you get over that. And you get dragged over the line by something you wouldn't have thought of or even agreed to, but you respect this collaborator, so you go there and you're probably both going to be pleased with the result.
Cool. And finally, if you were starting today in the age of TikTok and AI and fragmented audiences, how would you...
I am starting today in the age of TikTok and fragmented audiences. I'm persisting in the world of fragmented audiences.
So what advice would you give to a newbie how to build a music or film career in this new age?
My goodness gracious, I wish I could answer that question for you. Not only has the means of making music gone through 5 or 6 entire revolutions since I started out on 4 tracks on half-inch magnetic tape, up to through the 48-channel Mitsubishi to the synchronized to the eventually now you can do it all on a laptop. So the technology, 5 revolutions. How you get ahead in the business, several revolutions there. The way the media work, promotion works, it's not even related to the days when I cut my teeth and learned, how to shake the tree. It's a different tree. And so any advice your younger listeners are getting from me is probably out of date. They say when you go to college nowadays, by the time you graduate, what you learned as a freshman is redundant. And so that would also apply to career advice from a 70-something-year-old codger like me.
So what are you working on right now? Is there a project you're working on today out in California, or is it sitting in the sun? Or what are you eating grapes? What are you doing today?
I eat lots of grapes. And they're good deoxidant. I'm on an opera, which is what I do these days. It's kind of secret what the opera is, because for various reasons I hate to divulge things. But it's an extreme, powerful work of British literature. Okay, let's go Irish literature. That is, most people are terrified of this. But I see that there's a visceral story at the heart of this masterpiece, which can be told very powerfully with opera, with music, illuminating some of the mysteries of the underlying literary material.
Well, you just used the word visceral, which brings me back to my Japanese story about body fluids. So I think...
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you so much. We are honored to have your film at Raindance, and I personally and the whole team at Raindance are huge fans and tracking your career with wonderment, and keep on trucking, as they say in America.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I wish I could be there with you in your festival. I like London, and I like being in a gathering like that of people like-minded with similar interests. I wish I was there.
Oh, right. Well, maybe we have to change the date. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But thank you for your time today, and all the best from your big fans at Raindance.
Okay, well, bless all of you.
Take care, man.
Take care now.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye now.